Many people consider relationship with animals as hobby without understanding the implications involved, where some even go to the extent of having direct contact with sensitive parts of the animal bodies. This may include having sexual interaction, kisses, as well as touching them indiscriminately and eating their raw or roasted flesh. Rats, as we all know, are rodents that live more closely with human beings, and they too have their ways of spreading certain diseases detrimental to the lives of their host communities.
From rodents to man.
Zaid Mohammed is a scientist in Nigeria, and he gives insight on diseases rats transmit to humans.
A lot of diseases can be transferred from rodents to man because of their own interaction. These animals can carry germs, or because of their interaction with the wildlife come in contact with disease-causing agents. And through their droppings or urine, it can be transferred. It can contaminate food and water supply of humans, or even the dust, which eventually can cause disease to humans. Among is the Lassa fever, which is still taking its toll in our populace.
A Katsina-based veterinarian, Dr. Abbati Masanawa, describes how they help in curtailing the transmission of diseases from animals to humans.
If we are suspecting animal to be anthrax, or we confirm it from maybe during for small team examination, that is in the abattoir. So we used to dig a hole and put it there, then burn it. Let's say for the anthrax, you will notice high fever in the animal before the slaughter. You will notice high fever, and you will notice some bleeding, that is from all the orifice that is opening in the body, from the nose, eye, even from the hair folds.
Dr. Kabir Suleiman is an epidemiologist in Katsina State, and he enumerates some of the signs and symptoms of diseases transmitted by rats, especially Lassa fever.
Some diseases, for instance, like Lassa fever, which is common in this environment, there is also actually a zoonotic disease, which is transmitted by rats. Mastomys natalensis, because it's common and it's deadly, especially when you look at the way it presents. It's one of those diseases actually called viral hemorrhagic fevers, because many a times they result in bleeding. Among other symptoms of fever, sore throat, body pains, and the rest, then there is actually bleeding terminally. And when you start seeing bleeding, many a times these are patients that really are very bad. Some of them may actually die.
Some residents of Katsina State, including Garbaji Kamshi and Nasir Matazu, say they are aware of the diseases being transmitted by rats, and they are handling the animal with utmost care and all seriousness.
To be conscious of where to keep your foodstuff, then to make sure that you are sanitizing your environment now and then. Where you realize that you are having a kind of rodents, rats, for example, in your own house, you need to start using chemicals to kind of kill them, to minimize their spread, so that you stay away from that kind of infection, possible infection.
Anywhere I see a strange hole that I'm suspecting this hole is for rat, I make sure that I get sand, stones, and maybe cement it out. And I make sure that even if I see things that are elements that has to do with rat, I make sure that I clean the place and I look for insecticide or anything material that has to do with medicine that will kill rat, to make sure that I applied it so as rat will not come near to my house or near my food.
Dr. Suleiman advised the general public on how they can effectively prevent rats from spreading Lassa fever and other diseases in the society.
And of course, keeping food in tight containers, in watertight containers, so that these rodents cannot get access into those containers. And of course, if you have any holes in the house, any place where you can have water collection and the rest, So all those things are what we tell people to ensure that they keep their houses clean. Of course, their body very clean, regular hand washing, and of course avoid handling animals. And even when you handle animals, especially rats, you make sure you wash your hands properly, because that's how really you get the infection.
Considering it being among the animals closely related to humans, there is need for governments, NGOs, experts and other stakeholders to ensure adequate sensitization of the public on the dangers associated with rats. From African Science Literacy Network, Salim Ashir Mahuta and Zaid Muhammad.